everyone. You are watching Rob's MetalWorks. Tonight, yes, we are continuing to deliver the best in Texas metal, and we're going down deep into South Texas this evening, into the Rio Grande Valley. And finally, after 2 or 3 years, I can't remember how long I've been wanting to get this band on the show. Brings me great pleasure to welcome Archangel AD, based out of Edinburg, and I have with me the main man on the Vox in the bass, Mr. Justin Lopez. Sir, how are you doing this evening?
I am doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. How are you?
I'm good, man. God, I always, first of all, let me say I appreciate you coming all the way up here to do this, okay? Because, first of all, I love good bands and I love thrash metal. And it was, around 2018 when I first heard about Archangel. And I remember thinking to myself, man, these cats are so cool. And I love thrash and they're really good. And then, we all talk in the metal scene here. And whenever Archangel would come up, all these other musicians would say, yeah, man, those guys are great. We did a show with them. Those guys are like killer. So everything I always kept hearing about the band was positive. So thank you for coming up. First of all, let's talk about, and we were, chatting off camera, but let's reiterate, how are things in the Valley right now? First of all, and that's kind of like a two-part question. First of all, tell me how the Valley has kind of been, the music scene in the Valley has kind of been adapting to the pandemic and what's happening this past year.
So, when COVID hit, it was, just kind of like a slap to the face. Nobody really knew what was going on and nobody knew how long it was going to last, right? And we're still kind of coping with that. There are shows that are coming back. They're kind of few and far between, but people are starting to want to throw shows again. And we were supposed to have a couple, but they got canceled. We were going to play one in Harlingen at this bar called the Hop Shop. And
was that the show in January?
Yeah, that was the show in January. It got canceled because Starr County issued a lockdown order again. So we ended up kind of getting screwed out of that. And so, it was going to be our first show in about a year, which today, funnily enough, is the 1-year anniversary of the last time we played a show in Laredo.
Wow.
The last show we played was in Laredo a year ago, which was the Death Fest over in Laredo. And yeah, it's been a long time. And, people are just still trying to come together and put things together. But we're all being very cautious about it.
Yeah, I was about to say, legally, obviously it's affected, venues across the state, but the mentality of the people, are people scared to go out? Like me, I haven't gone out to a show in a while. I went out to one, and all the protocols that you have to follow, it was, you have to sit down, you can't even go to the bar. It just wasn't fun for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't even want to go to a show now because it's just not fun the way that it's so constrained. But at the same time, I'm kind of fearful too. I don't want to, you don't know what kind of numbnuts are out there, and they're sick. They might still go to a show.
Oh yeah.
And then it's history.
And that's rampant in the Valley with a lot of there's some sort of mentality in the Valley, and I'm not trying to crap on the Valley.
We're keeping it real.
Yeah, but a lot of people aren't honest. They'll get it and then they'll go out.
Yeah.
And
they're in denial, bro.
Yeah,
they don't want to think they got it.
It's like, what are you doing, man? You're putting others in danger.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Fuck no.
But yeah, I mean, we want to get out there. We want to start playing shows again.
Yeah.
But we'll just take it when it comes. We're not trying to jump back into it because we know what it's like. All these restrictions and everything. We want people to have a good time and feel safe. First priority. We want people to feel safe. And if they don't feel safe going out to a show, then hey, maybe we'll just live stream practices or something. And that's the other thing. A lot of people have been adapting very well to this new kind of social media game.
I've seen y'all's quarantine videos.
Yeah.
I saw the acoustic thing.
Priest of the Void.
Priest of the Void. That was cool.
We kind of released a little single just kind of for fun because, we're like, well, we have nothing else to do. And we've been sitting on that song for a really long time.
Yeah.
And, we kind of reworked it and put it together. And we were just like, oh, like, why not? It's a crappy little, like, mix or whatever. I did it myself on my laptop.
Yeah.
But, it was something like, here's something for you guys to have, just something extra during this kind of tough time. It's kind of a dark song, deep song. Like maybe it would help somebody.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. I've always kind of had like this kind of weird type of kind of attraction to the Valley. I think to me, because y'all have all these little suburbs, if you want to call them that comprise the Valley. And I was telling you off camera, the last time I was out there was for Al DeBarrio's Thrash Bash. I think it was in 2016. And I kind of just love, to me, kind of like the purity of the Valley metal scene. Mm-hmm. It kind of just seems like everybody is in good spirits and everybody supports everybody. There's no like politics involved, no competition involved. Everybody's just there kind of loving it. And, I've always kind of spoken highly of the Valley metal scene. Do you kind of feel even like before the pandemic that things were kind of getting strong in the Valley metal scene?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the thing about the Valley scene is we all try to help each other.
Yeah.
One way or another. We're always, like cross-sharing posts. We're always supporting each other, speaking each other up, supporting each other out at shows. Like people will just go from other bands and just go out and support. And it's a really nice tight-knit community, and everybody's always, like I said, trying to help each other and lift each other up.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's great.
So it's really nice. And there can be moments of maybe exclusivity or somebody who's got too high of an ego. Mm-hmm. But people just don't work with those people. They'd rather work with the people who have nicer personalities.
Sure.
So the people who are, I guess for lack of better words, dicks, mm-hmm. they don't really, get worked with.
Yeah.
They don't play shows with people as much.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let's talk about now. Let's more specifically about the band. Archangel AD. Remember when I first heard that name, I was like, man, that's kind of cool. I think band names are very important, okay? So talk a little bit about the formation of this band. We were talking a little bit about it.
Okay, so back in 2015, our ex-guitarist, founding member, Matt Carr, he was in high school. He decided he wanted to jam with some friends. He got together with our drummer, Edward Vera, and they started jamming. 2 weeks later, I came into the mix. Shame to say it, but I found them on Craigslist and, messaged them and got in the band. They had another friend. His name was Jesse. He was playing lead guitar. A couple months later, he replaced himself with our now lead guitarist, Jake. Mm-hmm. It was one of the weirdest things that ever happened because he was like, hey, I have a friend who wants to jam with you guys. And we're like, cool. He's like, yeah. So I'm going to add him to the chat. And he's gonna jam with
Matt
you guys.
Matt said this.
No, Jesse said this.
Oh, okay.
He was like, I have a friend who wants to jam with you guys, and he's gonna come this weekend, and I'll be back next weekend.
And he never came back.
Yeah, and then he just stopped talking to us, and then Jake became part of the band. Like he joined us, and he was a much better fit for us.
Jake's a shredder.
Yeah,
and a lefty. So what's wrong with that?
Oh, fun fact. Everybody in the band now is a lefty except for me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Even Roman, he plays guitar right-handed, but he learned he's actually left-handed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Edward is left-handed, Jake is left-handed, and so is Roman.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm the only right-handed person, and it's weird.
Yeah, so. Jake's a great guitar player, and I love his shred, and I think that's one of the great elements that makes a good thrash band. And I remember when I started listening to Warband, and then with Eventide more so. I love all that guitar shred in there, and we'll talk about more about that.
Yeah.
But what was kind of like, so there was a little bit of evolution in the beginning, but what was the vision? Was the vision to kind of be this thrash band?
Yeah. So when we first started, it was like our heroes are Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer. The big four, basically.
Yeah.
And we're like, that's what we want to be. And at the time, we were littler kids than we are now. I was 19 when I joined the band. I'm 25 now. So it feels like a very long time
Still
ago.
a young man, Justin.
But not that young. And I mean, when I compare myself to my heroes, though, I am not where I want to be.
Oh, God. Right.
But that was the dream, for all of us in the band. Ever since we were kids, we'd heard these songs and these groups, and we're like, man, I want to do that. I want to play in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And I want them to feel the music the way we feel the music,
Sure.
And that's the thing is it's not about monetary success. It's about just being successful and people enjoying the music.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We want
finding
people to
contentness in that.
Yeah, we want
that your music's impacting fans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We just want to impact people with the sounds and the music that we make. We don't really care about making money with it.
Right.
It would be nice, but that's not the end goal. We're not in it for that.
I think that's a great kind of mentality to have because if you're doing it for the right reasons, and I kind of, talk about this in many different circles, like don't follow the money, follow the dream and then the money will come.
Yeah.
And some people don't get that. They have it backwards. But I'm glad that you got it right. Let's talk about the name Archangel. Where did that come from?
So,
Archangel AD.
So it's kind of everything about this band is silly or dumb. So when we were thinking of band names, when I joined the band 2 weeks after they formed, they were called Tacuache. And I was like,
what does that mean?
It's possum in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I was like, no, we're not.
Did you know that?
We're not going to be called Tacuache. Okay?
Exactly.
I'm
out.
So we had been tossing around names for a while. It in hindsight, it isn't until after you decide on a name that you think of cooler names, but we already had the branding and everything. So one day Matt comes home. He comes from church, right? His parents forced him to go to church, and he brings back this pamphlet of the Archangel Michael stabbing the shit out of Lucifer.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is cool. And we're like, yeah, that is pretty cool. And then he's like, what if we called the band Archangel? And we're like, yeah, it works. And then we just kind of decided on it, and we weren't in love with the name. We weren't sold on it or anything, because, it's kind of like, not to shit on us, but it's kind of a generic sounding name, right? But it evokes the right imagery. Archangel. Right. It's powerful.
It's good.
It's
positive.
Yeah, it's a very positive kind of force, and it kind of leads. It kind of tells you like what our music is going to be about. It's always very warfare, fantasy based. Stuff like that. That's how I write my lyrics. And so the AD came because there's like 50 archangels out there.
Oh, okay.
And I got the idea from Ghost. Ghost.
Right.
Was Ghost BC,
right?
Until they got big enough to just buy the name Ghost,
right?
And now they're just Ghost,
right?
And so that's my plan.
Yeah, believe it or not, that imagery of the Archangel Michael stabbing the Satan. I have a picture of, like a portrait of it right underneath my.
Wow, really?
My thing here, yeah, yeah.
And that's what inspired the band name,
to keep out all the evil out of the MetalWorks room. Okay, so that's great. You guys were off to a good start, and it seemed like right away you guys released your first demo in 2016, At the Gate of the Temple. Obviously, when bands are kind of releasing their first kind of outing, it's rough, and maybe it's not looking back or reminiscing on it. It's not exactly what you thought you wanted it to be. But what you guys were kind of just right away wanted to get something out into the scene for people to jam to?
Yeah, so we had been playing shows pretty much religiously. Every weekend we were out playing 1 or 2 shows when we first started. Because my thought process, and I don't know if this is the correct thought process, was nobody knows who we are. Nobody cares who we are.
Yeah.
And we just need to play enough to where people get our name in their mouth.
Right.
And that was the original thought. Good or bad. We just need people to hear our name and know that we exist.
Right.
So we were playing a lot. And, you know, as bad as we were back in the beginning, there were people who were interested. They're like, hey, you guys got like CDs or something? And we're like, well, no, we don't actually. But we could make CDs.
Right.
And so we made our own crappy little home studio, and we worked on it and worked on it and worked on it, and it still was trash. But we decided to, you know, like, this is as good as it's going to get right now.
Sure.
And we didn't record all together, because when we tried to do that, we only had one mic, and it sounded terrible. It sounded like, and I'm not trying to shit on anybody, it sounded like a black metal, like, you know, like the tape in a closet in the other room,
right.
you know, recording the band.
Sure.
So it sounded really, really bad, and we're like, you know what, we'll record the parts one at a time, and it made it really difficult, but, you know, we came out with it. We were really proud of some of those songs, which ended up making their way onto our first EP, like Warband and Blightning, and there might be another one, but I don't really remember because I try to push At the Gate of the Temple out of my mind.
Sorry to bring it up.
No. Like that was the first time, you know, we really hired somebody for artwork.
Sure.
And that's kind of where we got this kind of like fascination with really vibrant like colors and really kind of like intrinsic artworks, because, you know, a lot of metal bands just have like the black and white or really, really dark and morose and like, ooh, yeah, we're really tough. Look at us, we're a metal band. And we're like, well, no, like we are, you know, we take our music very seriously, but why can't we have something colorful?
Yeah,
like
vibrant.
What's
with
wrong?
A crab.
Yeah. Hey, Sir Crabsworth is a
Tell me about it when we get to Eventide.
A distinct part of the band.
Okay.
So, yeah, you know, we were proud of it at the time, but now when we look back on it, it's just pure cringe. But it's still fun. Like when you listen to Blightning on the Warband EP compared to Blightning on At the Gate of the Temple, they're like two different songs.
Yeah. So in 2018, you released the Warband EP. So was it a re-recording of the initial demo, or were there new songs added?
There were new. Like I said, I think the only two songs that we ended up taking were Warband and 3 songs. Excuse me. It was Warband, Blightning, and Enter the Temple.
Oh, okay.
Because we had like a concept.
And
thing
Warband
going.
has like 6 tracks on it.
Yeah, it's 6. Yeah. So it was one shy of being an album, and we didn't know that, and so we released it as an EP.
I can't remember how in 2018 I got the Warband EP. I can't remember if you guys sent it to me or. But
we didn't know that PR was a thing.
Oh, okay.
Like we learned from mistakes, and we learned the hard way.
I don't know how I got it. I swear I can't recall. I knew I wasn't in the Valley, so I don't remember, but I have it. And I've been jamming to it for a while, and I think when I started really listening to it, I was like, man, this is so cool. I love the tracks. Like I said, I love the shred. I thought the songs were good. You know, good thrash songs have, you know, some good catchy hooks in them. And I was like, man, these dudes are young, and I know that, you know, over time they're just going to get a lot better. And that's kind of initially what piqued my interest with Archangel AD, and that's kind of when I first started communicating with you guys. So Matt was still in the band. The founder guitar player was still in the band when Warband came out. Yeah. But yet there had been a lot of progression from 2016. Oh, definitely. Yeah. What did you kind of feel made Warband so much better than the initial demo?
It was I guess, just the fact that we had really started to understand each other. Yeah. As musicians. Yeah. You know, we finally clicked, and we started to just get it. And that's really what made it. I feel like what made Warband a solid, you know, little record was that we had finally like seen eye to eye with what we wanted it to sound like, and we wanted it to sound raw and, you know, full of energy and just, you know, thrashy. Yeah. You know, and I think it came out. You know, obviously we have the one takeaway, Evil Dreams, which is a doom song. But I explained to you, doom is my favorite thing.
Your secret love.
Yeah, my secret love of a genre. And so we stuck that in there, and people really actually connected with that one. They really liked that song because it took a darker tone and had more kind of introspective lyrics. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, metal fans love it all. I love it all. And I know a lot of people love many different genres. And, I think that, one of the things I love about thrash metal and all the thrash metal bands is that, they can do thrash. But I remember like when Exodus Pleasures of the Flesh came out and Gary Holt did that No Love, guitar, acoustic, and a electric kind of little medley that he did. And it was very soft and subtle. And people were like, whoa, Gary Holt can play that shit too. Yeah. And the diversity of thrash musicians. And one of the things I've always loved about thrash metal musicians is that they're really good musicians. Even though they're playing a lot of power chords and shit and doing it really fast, but they can shred and they can write, medleys and harmonize and do all this great stuff that I love about thrash metal. So Warband too, I mean, obviously it sounds better. Yeah. So did y'all record that in the Valley?
We recorded it with a friend of ours from Overt Enemy. Not sure if you've heard of them.
Yep. Robert Hahn?
Yeah, Robert Hahn. We went to his house and we recorded
Robert Hahn, yeah.
We recorded it in his garage studio.
Yep.
And then we sent it off to Widowmaker Studios, Josh Lopez.
Yep.
And he mastered it for us. Mixed and mastered it for us. So, that's pretty much where the sound came from. Was we did it at Rob's house and we just tried to do it like in one take, and then we just kind of overdubbed with guitars and solos and stuff. And when I recorded the vocals for pretty much the whole album, I think I was sick. I think I had a cold, so that's my like cold voice on that record. Okay. That's me with a cold. So I mean, it'll live forever, but I mean, it sounds good.
But now it's like it's all out on all digital platforms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So people, you can get the Warband EP. Look for it. It came out in 2018. And when Warband came out, obviously you guys had this new EP out in the market there in the Valley. So the plan was just to play a lot of shows at that time?
Pretty much, yeah.
Is there a lot of places to play in the Valley?
There were more, but slowly they're becoming less. And maybe there are more opening, but I just haven't been aware of them. Yeah. But there are some staples like the Hop Shop in Harlingen. Yeah. That is like the go-to metal place. Cine El Rey.
Right.
That's a place where we play a lot. There's another place called Yerberia Cultura in McAllen. There's a couple other bars in McAllen. Some bars in Edinburgh, Brownsville. We kind of hop around the Valley. You can't just play like in one place.
Sure.
And because it's a big metropolitan area.
Did you go back to the Laredo?
We went to Laredo. We've only been to Laredo twice. The first time we went, we got our stuff jacked. So we're like, we're not going back to Laredo.
I've never been to a metal show in Laredo, and I don't know. I don't know if I would.
Yeah. So
because shit like that, it's crazy. They're crazy people out there.
Yeah. Well, when we returned, we had a good time and nothing got jacked, thankfully. And we played on that Death Fest, which was really, really cool. And we met a lot of cool people and saw some really, really great bands.
I don't think I'd go to Brownsville either. But hey, we'll support you. Like we love Pantheon from Brownsville. We support them. And I know there's a lot of great bands in the Valley. And, I'm excited that because I kind of feel like your new music that will come out, and we're going to talk about that, is really going to be a huge step forward. Mm-hmm. So it's been 3 years now since Warband. Well, will be 3 years now as we enter 2021. And you guys have released some singles. Let's talk about the Eventide single, which came out in the fall of 20. I remember when you guys released the video and the song for that track, I was like, when bands put out a video, like nowadays it's commonplace for the bands to put out a video and the single. Release the video kind of as the single, accompanied with the video. And whenever bands do that, the first thing I do is I play the video and I don't watch it. I just want to listen to the track and see if it's good. I loved Eventide. I thought it was an amazing song. And then when I saw the video, I was a little kind of taken aback. You know, it was a little different. You guys are at the beach having a good old time, and Mr. Krabs in the video, in and out of the video. But the track itself, and which really is at the heart of it all, is great. I can't wait to see you guys play that song live one day. Great song, and I think the important thing that we've kind of come to an understanding about, at least I have, as a fan, is that it was Eventide was the first music with Matt's replacing Roman Torres, right?
Yeah.
So talk a little bit. I mean, obviously, you know, sometimes, you know, this evolution is really a lot for the better, you know. So you have a guy like Jake, and then you have a guy like Roman, who's also a shredder, come together. And, you know, for me, when I heard Eventide, I was like, man, this is a step above what they were doing before. At least I felt that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So
would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, Eventide just kind of ramped it up a notch. You know, we're like, we wanted to do something big. We had written 2 songs, and we're like, we need to pick one to be a single because I want to start ramping up for an album.
Right.
And so we wrote Eventide in an afternoon. We literally just sat there and wrote it in like 3 hours. And we're like, wow, this is really cool, because Roman came in with the riff that and I was like, I can write something to that. And so we just put it together, and it and
that's what happens.
Yeah, we were like, hey, it kind of has like a beach or a surfer vibe, right? And we're like, yeah. And I was like, what kind of lyrics can I write? And you know, I'm really into video games and stuff, and yeah, so it ended up being about this one of these challenges in a Zelda game, and so yeah, so you mentioned something about the music video and how it kind of took you aback, right?
Yeah.
Like, so my philosophy with music videos is I don't care about music videos. I think music videos are a means to an end. I want people to hear my music. I don't care about like what's going on in a video, you know? Like I kind of take that old school philosophy, you know, like I think music videos are dumb. So when I'm going to make one, I want them to be dumb. Like Foo Fighters or Red Fang.
Okay.
You know how they make these kind of spoof videos that have nothing to do with the music.
Right.
Or
like the lyrics or anything.
Yeah, like it has nothing to do with the song itself. It's just something fun. And that's what we aim to do, and that's what we aim to do in the future too with any other music videos we put out there. Yeah, we might have a serious one here and there, but for us, music videos are a means to an end. We just want people to hear the songs. We don't care about what we do on the video.
Well, I definitely remembered the video because it was so left field.
Yeah.
I remembered it.
Yeah, and
which also I think also is important.
That's another thing is, you know, we kind of made it so dumb and so ridiculous that people actually ended up enjoying. But we did get criticism. We have gotten criticism before because, you know, at the very end of the song, and I'm not sure if I can cuss. I know I have been.
You can.
But, you know, at the end of the song, I'm singing that line, fight tooth and nail with all your might.
Yeah.
Hungry and frail, survive the eventide. At the very end, I go,
you fucking get it.
No, you fucking get it.
Yeah,
you know?
you fucking get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the fucking picture.
Yeah.
You know? And that wasn't on purpose. That was an accident. Or not an accident,
but
you
kept it
I
in
was
the
singing and singing and singing, and I was like, oh my God, my voice is tired.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you get the fucking picture.
Yeah. And you're singing the same thing over and over.
Yeah. And you know, we got criticized for putting humor in what would otherwise be a serious kind of song or whatever. And, you know, we do take ourselves very seriously.
Yeah,
we do, you know, we do think our music is very serious and important to us. But why can't we have fun?
Sure.
Why wouldn't we be able to have fun? And, you know, like music videos with these bands where they're like, oh, look at how cool we are. And yeah, look, we're jamming. Like, oh yeah, we're super, like, that's not our thing. We have some of that in the video.
Yeah.
But it was just because we needed to fill more space up.
Right.
So they're like, yeah, we don't have enough for the full song. We need to record you playing the song.
Amy, were you in the video?
She was. Yes.
Yeah, I saw some chicks in the video. That's good. And Edward's playing drums on the beach.
Yeah,
so, it was a good video, man.
On a little hard hat.
Yeah, good song. I loved the song, and again, I just kind of felt that it was like a step above. So, obviously, I kind of feel like Roman's addition into the band kind of really helped. You were telling me earlier that there seems to be a bit more direction now, and some streamlining with regards to back end decisions and working together. How has that helped?
Yeah, Roman's a very much like a go-getter kind of guy. Yeah, he's very much like a yes man. You tell him like, hey, what do you think about this? He's like, I think it's awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's great.
And
he's a team player.
Yeah, definitely.
Team player is what you need.
And he always felt timid about he felt timid about being a replacement, and we're like, no man, you're not a replacement, you're a part of the band. Okay, it's a different era, don't be afraid to come to us with stuff. And that's how we got Eventide, because we told him, like, if you have something, bring it. We want to see what you have. If you have shows that you can line up, if you have merch that you're thinking about, like, don't be afraid to let us know. You're as much a part of the family as anybody else. So, that's how Eventide came about. We've gotten a couple shows because of his connections. And just the songwriting process with him is very fun, engaging, and he's such a positive person. It's very infectious to be around him because he's always smiling and laughing and just cool. He's a really, really fun guy, and he talks, as much as I do. Like, he's just if you get him on a topic, that's it. All
of you guys should quit your jobs and come to this interview tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's great. Evolution is good for the band, and it seems like Roman has really come in and kind of fit well with everybody. So Eventide came out in 2019, and then I guess kind of just to kind of stay on people's radar, you guys released the single "Priest of the Void" in April of 20, and I remember when I saw the single pop up on Facebook, and I heard it, and I was like, I don't know if you remember what I posted. I posted like that weird emoji, the one that got the guy that just like has like one eyebrow raised, because it was so like, I just totally like, wow, again, kind of like reminding me that thrash bands are very diverse bands of musicians, and they can do a lot of things. It was something that I had not expected from Archangel AD. So you were telling me, or I think you alluded to earlier, to the fact that was a track that you wrote.
Yeah, we've had that track in our I guess repertoire for a while. That was actually one of the songs on At the Gate of the Temple.
Oh, really?
But it's a much different version.
Oh, okay.
Much better now.
Yeah.
And, so the reason we did it was quarantine had just hit, COVID was going crazy, and we're like, what can we do? We were just kind of like, what's going to happen? And how are we going to practice? How are we going to write songs together? The plan was to release Eventide, then work on an album and release it in 2020, but how are we going to do that now? So what I did was I put together a backtrack for us to just like a metronome for us to record to, and sent it to the guys, and I was like, just play Priest of the Void, and we're going to throw this together and we're going to release it because I just want to put something out there right now. And, for us, we always, we don't like being put in a box. Like, we do call ourselves a thrash metal band, right? But we are, diverse musicians. We all pull and like different things, and we want to do different things.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's a certain depth to having these other kinds of songs. And, it did kind of feel like, this early in our career, releasing an acoustic song like that, something that's soft and intimate, was kind of, I guess, risky.
Yep.
Because I remember seeing your comment.
Yeah.
Or your message, and
the emoji.
Yeah, and I screenshotted it and sent it to the guys, and I was like, "Did we fuck up? Is this bad?" And so yeah, but that one was actually a song that people always enjoyed when
I should have put the emoji with the mind blowing with his head blowing.
Yeah, because the little the rock thing. I was like, oh no. I was like, that can't be good.
Well, it wasn't that I was like being critical. It was just the fact that it was so it was a left hook out of left field. Like boom. I was like, whoa, what is this? But after I kind of heard it a while, I was like, yeah, I get it, and it's cool. And, I think it takes balls to kind of put yourself out there like that. And I think I respect that to a particular degree. Yeah. There are fans out there who are totally diehard and they have those eye blinders on and they just want their metal a particular way. So, when you got, some of the criticism for the humor or, for Priest of the Void, that shit's going to come at you whether you never even deviated at all. There's always going to be critics out there who are going to talk shit. But hey, it comes with the territory when you put your art out in the public. Yeah. But now let's talk about what really is what I wanted to talk about and all the exciting new things that are happening with the band. So I saw, as I was getting prepared for tonight's interview, I saw that there were some pictures of you guys in the studio. Mm-hmm. You guys are have been recording now for a while. Yeah. So when can or where are you in the process for releasing and recording new music?
So I'd say right now we're about halfway through our recording process, maybe a little more than halfway. We have, I guess I'll just announce it. We have 11 songs.
Wow.
That are going to be coming out.
So a full-length LP.
A full-length LP. Yes.
Wow,
we want it to come out big, hard, and dirty.
It's about time, I think. Yeah.
Like, we really wanted it to just, like, a big slap in the face from us, kind of, just, we've been gone for a while, but here we are. And now we have so much material. Don't bother us for another 3 years.
Yeah. Well, now you have a whole legit piece of work to kind of support and focus on and promote for the coming year. So when do you anticipate that music will come out?
I think it'll probably come out by like late spring, early summer.
Oh wow, cool.
I think, or I mean, if maybe if we need more PR, we can push it back maybe to early fall or something.
Yeah.
But we really, really want to make waves with this.
Yeah.
This we are very proud of the songs on this. We feel that they're really tight, really nice, really, we're getting into more complex material. We like to say that Eventide was kind of like our pop song. I can see that. It was really catchy and that was the thing, and now we're kind of taking it in the and Justice for All direction.
I was just about to say that.
And we're getting really technical, or we're not really technical, but we're pushing the mold of what we're comfortable with. Writing stuff that is pushing our.
So still very thrashy.
Oh yeah.
Totally thrashy.
But there are elements in there that might shock you. There are some things that I think are going to turn some heads and piss people off.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, so we're about halfway through. We have one more song to record drums for, and then the drums are done, and we're doing it old school, one take. If he messes up, we do it again. So there's only one left, and there are a few, I think, surprising tracks that are going to be on there. Surprising in the vein of Priest of the Void.
Yeah, wow, cool.
So some stuff that's a bit more intimate, a bit softer and vulnerable. So.
Do you have a song, a title for the record yet?
We do, and we have the artwork as well.
Nice.
The album title, it's Latin, and it's called Casus Belli. It stands, or Casus Belli translated to English means a cause for war.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing that on our program.
Absolutely.
For all the people out there. And Hopefully, things will lighten up with the pandemic, and you guys can get out there. Would you guys like to go out and tour regionally, play shows all over?
Absolutely. We did a small Texas tour, a small regional tour with Warband. It was only 2 weeks because we're broke.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford it.
Here in Texas?
Yeah, we went San Antonio, Austin. We went up to Big Spring. We were supposed to go to El Paso, but then they canceled on us.
Yeah.
Which kind of pissed us off. But then we had more days to relax.
Yeah.
That's
a journey, man.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a godsend.
Then we went to Beeville. We went to Corpus, and then we were supposed to have another show in Victoria, but we ended up canceling that one because we had car troubles. So our truck just couldn't really pull anymore once we got back. So we had a few canceled dates, but it was a pretty successful tour. We were really happy with it. At the time, we were still a baby name in the scene, and we're really, really proud of it. And now with this one, what we're hoping is that it gets enough either national traction or at least local traction that we can do a really successful tour.
Yeah.
We want to get to the East Coast. We want to get to the West Coast. We want to go north. We want to go everywhere.
Yeah.
We want to play for people.
Yeah.
We want to feed off of that energy from the crowd. That's the most exhilarating thing about being in a band. Writing the songs and playing the music is fun, but that electricity you get from the crowd, there's no feeling like that. Especially when, being the front man and you say shit to them and they react to you, it's so great.
Yeah, cool.
Just having that reaction. So, yeah.
Do you plan to, because we live in the digital age, is releasing hard copy CDs or
Absolutely.
vinyl important to you?
Yeah, very, very important.
Yeah.
I believe in physical stuff.
Me too.
I always try to physically buy the music that I love, just because listening on Spotify or YouTube or Amazon or Google Play or Apple Music or whatever, it's nice, but I know I'm really supporting the artist once I buy the actual physical CD or whatever. I don't have a turntable, so I don't collect vinyls. I want to, but yeah. So we will be hopefully releasing, or not hopefully, we will be releasing CDs for sure. And if there is a demand for it, we'll be doing vinyls. And if there's a demand for it, we might even do tapes.
Wow.
Because I know that's a thing too.
That's a cool, it's kind of retro thing.
Yeah.
Did the snowstorm really affect electricity?
Oh, hell yeah.
Down in the valley?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't have power for 3 days.
Those people weren't jamming to Spotify. That's why it's always better to have a hard copy. You know, so all those people who didn't have internet, they weren't able to jam to metal.
Yeah.
Like those of us who have CDs and vinyl were once our electricity came on. But still, seriously, my electricity came on and my internet was still out for days. So at least I could still jam, I always believe in having, even digital music. I like the digital music. I don't rely on Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that to listen to my stuff. And I don't like the quality of it either.
Yeah.
It's very compressed and doesn't sound as full
for sure.
To me. Well, that's great, man. Justin, sounds like Archangel AD has a great year lined up for 2021. Is there anything I missed? Anything else that you want to share?
I don't know.
Do you want to do videos for the record?
Oh yeah, we have plans for a few singles, and we do have some really, really dumb ideas for videos. Trust me, they're gonna be stupid and stupider.
Does that make them inexpensive if they're stupid?
Yeah. We literally filmed our first one. The only expense was I think what did we buy? I don't know.
Beer.
Yeah, we bought beer. And we paid for the guy to make the video, and that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Come to the beach.
Yeah, it was free. We went to the beach, we filmed a video.
Yeah.
And we just had fun, We played football and frisbee.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So that's the idea. I mean, these next videos might have a bit more of a budget, but definitely definitely going to be super dumb.
I'd like to see, you talked about this earlier. There was a little bit of performance video in the Eventide video, but I really would like to see a performance video for one of the videos. I think what I've heard a lot about Archangel AD is like, man, you got to check these dudes out live. So whenever I hear, something about the band, it's always about your performance. And I've had other musicians tell me this, so I know it's legit. They know what the fuck they're talking about. So like, yeah, man, we did a show with them. Or like when I first announced that I was going to interview you guys, I got a couple of messages like, yeah, we did a show with those guys and they're awesome. And so it seems like a lot of people revere what you guys do live.
So our live performances are we do have a lot of fun. We really give it our all every time we play. Me, obviously, I have a lot of hair, and I use it all.
Yeah.
I headbang and hurt myself because I feel like what you give is what you get. So if I'm just standing there playing my instrument and then I start singing and I stand there again and just, then that's what the crowd's going to give me.
Right, of course.
So if I literally throw out my back, headbanging, then I assume they're going to throw out their back in the mosh pit.
Sure.
It's just part of the performance. I want them to have a good time, and in turn, I want to have a good time too. And for me, it's cathartic kind of in a way to headbang and play. And
sure,
sometimes it's a little hard to be headbanging like that and still trying to do all this technical shit. But it's just part of the thing. And we have Roman, who he gets really into the headbanging also, and Jake he likes to rile up the crowd and stuff. So
cool.
We try to have a lot of interaction, and we try to make it feel like an intimate performance. Like we're doing this with you guys, not for you or at you.
Right.
It's with you.
Right.
Like we're all trying to have a good time here.
Nice.
So, yeah. And, we always try to be friendly to people like on and off the stage. And we always talk with I don't want to call them fans because I don't know if we actually have fans or not. But, we always try to talk.
Of course you do. I'm a fan.
We always talk with fans, and we always introduce ourselves to the other bands and stuff.
Sure.
We believe in making that kind of community with people, and I think that helps contribute to people's positive image of us.
Sure. Sure.
And there are people who have negative images of us too, like people who say we play a dead genre and that we're wasting our time and stuff. But why listen to them when we could go headbang and have a good time?
Exactly. Yeah, man. I'm definitely a fan. And I highly anticipate your new music, and the sooner you can shoot it to me, the better. Okay, so I can help talk about it. Okay,
you'll definitely
thank
be
you so
one of
much.
the first ones who gets it.
Thank you, and thank you so much, Justin and Amy, for coming over this evening. Thank you for driving all those miles to come and do this.
The other guys wanted to be here. They just couldn't.
Yeah, no, I understand, man. It's a commitment. To come to San Antonio, it was a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to come and chat with us. But nonetheless, you're here, and we're going to get the word out. All you people out there, remember the name of the band is called Archangel AD. They're from the Rio Grande Valley here in South Texas, way deep South Texas. So we're really happy to support them. Remember, they're going to have brand new music coming out later this year. But Warband EP is out there to get your little feelers wet and check it out. Remember, you saw the band only right here on Rob's